launched before your mission. Could you please tell them a little bit about your space flight and then give them the floor to ask some questions?
First of all, I would like to congratulate all the students that are there today at ESPEC, because I know that if they're there, they did a great job in our space robotics competition, and that is a fantastic piece that they should treasure. And no matter what the results are today, these guys are winners. I myself have never been able to compete in something like that, so I'm really proud of you guys. I would like to tell you a little bit about my space flight. I think that every space flyer, every astronaut thinks that his mission is special and better than the others. In my case, I think I'm right, because one thing that every astronaut hopes for is for his space mission to be unique and interesting. And in my case, I found that I believe that my space flight was incredible, because there are some activities that you can do in orbit, and my increment, we were lucky enough to have everything happen in one single increment. 3637, we saw the arrival of ATV, started right away with the arrival of ATV, and then we had 2 EVAs, one of which became very, very famous because of a problem I had while outside, something that doesn't happen very often, and from which we are learning a lot about spaceflight and our spacesuits. We had two other space vehicles arriving. We had HTV number 4 Kunotori, and also the very first commercial vehicle Cygnus, which arrived only a couple of weeks ago, and which let me try flying the robotic arm, Canadarm 2 for the first time for a European. So I was very happy to be able to experience that, and also the fact that I am the flight engineer number 1 on the Soyuz. I got to be very familiar with the system, very in-depth with the procedure. So I think that from a personal point of view, it's been a fantastic experience. And then if we go beyond my personal experience, but to the general success of the mission, it's apart from the things that I already told you, what we do here in space is important. Is always important. We do exploration, we do science, we do technology, and all those 3 items have been touched by my expedition. One example that I can give you is Earth observation, which is a little talked about, but it's very important. We have a fantastic platform here on the station. Well, in my increment, we have taken more pictures of targets that were sent up from the ground, specific location that they wanted to take us pictures of. We have taken more of those than any other expedition before us. We're talking almost twice as many targets acquired. So we are really proud of that with my crew, of course. And I don't want to take any more of your precious time, and I would like to hear the questions of the students on the ground.
How long does the final approach of the ATV to the ISS take?
Hello, welcome on board.
Hello?
Yeah, I didn't hear the question. Can you ask the question again?
How long does the final approach of the ATV to the ISS take?
Oh, that's an excellent question. So let's start with showing you the ATV. And the final approach starts when the ATV is behind the station, and then it slowly approaches to the final docking until the actual automatic docking. And it's a process. It doesn't last very long. It will be parked a couple of kilometers, then it burns, and it gets closer to the station, and then when it's about 19 meters away, that's where really things get serious. And all in all, it lasts a few minutes. It moves at a speed of about 15 centimeters per second, so it doesn't take long for the spacecraft to dock. However, from launch until docking, it takes a couple of weeks. That's because after launch, the engineers take care of a series of tests that every spacecraft have to do, and they do maneuvers to take the spacecraft from its parking orbit at 250 kilometers all the way to the station orbit at 400 kilometers.
Hello, my name's Rianne, and do you think that robots will take over humans' jobs in space missions?
That's a very good question. I don't think there is a competition for one to take over the other. I think that the future, which is already happening, is for humans and robots to work together to make the job and the result better. Robots already help us a lot. You know, a rover or the robot manipulator, the Canadarm. Those are all robots that help us in the space exploration. And I think the future is going to be like that. We're gonna have more interactions between robots and humans to make an easier job. There are many examples in which robots and men can cooperate in exploration. A robot can land in an area that has never been tracked and never been explored before, and make sure that the conditions are good enough for men explorers to come and colonize a new planet or an asteroid, and so on. So I think that the future is not for one to take over the other, but it's more of more integrated operations and cooperation.